If we haven't met before, I'm Sarah, an end-of-life planning advocate, normalizing conversations about end-of-life and estate planning before those conversations are necessary. A major myth of estate planning is that it has to be expensive and time-consuming. And honestly, if you're like the family in HBO Succession, read super rich with lots of properties in multiple states and complex family structures and dynamics, it probably is. I don't know. I don't deal with those people. But for us mere mortals, it's likely easier and cheaper than you might think. An added bonus is that many of these estate planning tasks are things you should be doing anyway to be a responsible adult in the world. So they'll benefit you and your people both today in life and at some point in the future after your death. To get you started, here are 5 free or very low-cost estate planning tasks. Task number 1, start a living will or an advanced care directive. What medical choices do you want made if you're incapacitated? Who do you want to make decisions on your behalf? What form or forms you'll need to answer these questions varies by location. Some states call it an advanced care directive, others call it a living will. Sometimes you're looking for an appointment of a healthcare agent or the nomination of a healthcare proxy. While the specific form and terminology will vary based on state, you're looking for 2 things. First, a place to document your healthcare choices and preferences. For example, whether or not you want CPR or a breathing tube. Many forms also have a narrative section where you can document your values or what's important to you. This is often, but not always, called a living will. And next, you're looking for a document appointing who you want to act and to make choices on your behalf if you are incapacitated. This person is your healthcare agent. To make it extra confusing, in some states, these are 2 separate documents. In other places, it's 1 document with 2 parts. Where I am in California, an advanced care directive is the name for a single document that contains both a living will and the appointment of healthcare proxy. Your state might differ. There are many places where you can get free living will or advanced care directive forms. A good place to start is your primary care doctor or your health insurer. They often have forms that you can use. If you aren't insured, you can search for health insurers in your area. Many have forms available online that you can download even if you aren't a member. And most states have default forms available for free. Though, fair warning, while the state forms I've seen are perfectly legal and accurate, they are usually pretty ugly, which doesn't matter at all when it comes to their validity. It just makes it a lot less pleasant to fill out. One maybe caveat here, some states require a form be notarized to be valid. If your state requires this, you have to do it or your form will not be valid. A notarization may cost a nominal fee, but contact your healthcare provider. Some offer free notarizations of their documents to encourage members to complete their forms. So, number 1, complete your living will or your advanced care directive. Task number 2, add beneficiaries to investment and retirement accounts. Not all of your assets will have to pass via a will. Accounts with named beneficiaries will pass directly to that beneficiary after you die without having to go through the time and frustration of probate. So review your investment and retirement accounts, and if you've already named a beneficiary, make sure that that beneficiary is current and accurate. If you haven't already named a beneficiary, do so now. So task number 2, contact the firm where your investment or retirement accounts are held. They can help you name a beneficiary on your account. Task number 3, declutter. Not every estate planning task has to feel like estate planning. Decluttering is estate planning. Everything you bring into your home or save on your computer will one day have to be removed by someone. You, your spouse, your people. You are in the best position to know and get rid of things you don't care about. So throw, recycle, delete, or sell stuff you no longer need or want. Added bonus, you can have an epic garage sale with everything you declutter and make some money in the process. So task number 3, spend some time each week decluttering your real or virtual life. Task number 4, document your stuff. Consider how many services that you subscribe to that someone will have to cancel someday. Will your someone know they exist or how to access them? Do you want your someone to have to, while mourning your loss, while dealing with lawyers and funeral homes, also have to deal with resetting your Disney Plus password so they can cancel your account? Keep a list of services you subscribe to and your usernames and passwords. While you're at it, also document your email, your social media names and your passwords, and the location of vital documents like your will and your passport. Not sure what to document? Shameless plug alert. I have a free summary of items to include in a blog post that will be linked in the description. I also have a When I Die full printable workbook available for sale. It's over 100 pages long, so believe me when I say there is a lot that can and should be documented. But don't let the fact there is a lot to document stop you from getting started. If you only document your email password, your online banking password, and your lawyer's name, that's something your people will appreciate. And even if you document what you don't have, your people will know they don't have to look for trust documents, or they won't have to look for your will or whatever it is you don't have. That will still make their lives that much easier. If this idea of documenting your stuff is still too overwhelming, here are 2 free baby steps to get you started. First, if you haven't documented anything, simply decide where or how to document your stuff. Popular options include analog notebooks or 3-ring binders, or digital options like Notes apps or Notion. And there are no shortage of password keeper apps and tools to help you manage your passwords, many of which are free or have free options. If you aren't sure where to keep this list, just pick an option and start. You can always change it later on once you get a better idea of the information you are documenting. Just make sure that somebody knows about this list and is able to access it. Keeping a perfect and up-to-date list in Evernote or in Notion won't do anyone much good if no one knows it exists or they're not able to access it. If you already have an idea of where you want to start documenting your stuff, a second option here is to simply add 5 things to your list. Add a few items to the list each week or as things come up. You don't need to complete this in one sitting. So task number 4, document your stuff. And item number 5, add a legacy contact to your online account. Dealing with your digital legacy is a huge undertaking, which only seems to be getting more complicated by the year. Setting up a legacy contact with the platforms that have made that an option is a great place to start. Google, Apple, and Facebook all allow you to name a legacy contact who will be able to access your accounts after your death and perform certain actions. Each service has its own setup process and rules about what your person can or can't access or do. Review the service's FAQs for more information. So pick the platform you use the most and set up a legacy contact. Fun/creepy fact, Google's service is actually an inactive account manager. Google is so entwined in our lives that they'll assume you're dead if you don't access any of your Google stuff for the time frame that you set. The current default is 2 years, but that changes occasionally, and you can set that time frame to be whatever you want. So task number 5, set up a legacy contact. See? that wasn't so bad. Without spending a dime, you can start moving your estate plan in the right direction. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and also consider hitting the subscribe button for regular end-of-life and estate planning information.